Phylum Tardigrada, also known as water bear, presented by Angel Marquez and Valerie Ibarra. Etymology and history. The word tardigrades stems from the Latin root words tardis, which means slow, and gradi, which means step or walk. In 1773, a German pastor known as J.A.E. Goes discovered these microanimals. A few years later, in 1776, an Italian biologist known as Lazzaro Spallanzani decided to name these microanimals slow steppers. The evolutionary relationship. Some fossils have been found to be about 520 million years old. They share similarities to Cycloneuralia and arthropods.
While researching about this phylum, I found so much similarities with arthropods. Also, as you can see, this phylum goes under the Eidozoans. Just a friendly reminder, eidosis is the ability to molt. My hope is sharing this slide to you is that you can connect this phylum to what you already learned already. Arthropods and tardigrades both have an exoskeleton that they shed. Both have an open circulatory system, which means that the blood is touching the internal organs for nutrient and gas exchange. In order to move, both have appendages, but the water bear's legs are not jointed. Both have a nerve cord that is near the lower part of the body. Lastly, left and right sides are mirror images of each other.
3 classes in this phylum. What counts as a water bear? Their mouth parts are distinguished by a pair of stylets to piece and a muscular sucking pharynx. There are about 800 species which live in marine, freshwater, and moist terrestrial habitats. They are unnoticeable and cryptic beings. There are 3 taxons. First, the Heterotargata, second, Eutargata, and the third, Mesotardigrada. In this taxon, there is only one genus that has been found in a Japanese hot spring known as the Thermozodium. Diversity. The Eutardigrada is freshwater and terrestrial found. Their sclerities are absent. Their dorsal cuticle is thin. The head lacks conspicuous sensilla. The legs terminate in claws. The cloaca formed by junction of intestines and oviducts. And the Malpighian glands are present. In the Heterotargata, their body is armored. They're primitive, marine, and more derived terrestrial and freshwater from echinoskoioids. Their conspicuous sensillas and the Malpighian glands are absent. In the Mesotargata, they have 6 to 10 simple claws, and their Malpighian glands are present. Locations found and extreme conditions. The Eutardigrada is found in moss, lichens, terrestrial, and freshwater habitats. The Heterotargatas can be found in marine habitats and terrestrial. The Mesotardigrada only has one genus known as Thermozodium, which were found in Japanese hot springs. They have not been found in any other places. Extreme conditions. They are able to live in extreme conditions due to intrinsically disordered proteins, TDPS. They live in places such as Antarctica, where it's really cold, in places with high radiation, and in the deep sea.
As mentioned before, the water bear is bilaterally symmetrical. These animals are so small that you need a microscope to see them. They have a highly permeable couteau in terms of gases and water. This means that they are usually found in moist environments since the gas exchange occurs in general body surface. As you can see in the slide, the couteau is not calcified. This means that while their exoskeleton is made of chitin and proteins, It does not have calcium carbonate. This is different from arthropods that do have a calcium croton. Water bears have 4 pairs of unjointed legs with claw gans that produce the claws on the end of the legs. If you look at them under a microscope, they do walk like little bears. The unjointed legs is a characteristic that water bears only share with their sister group, the phylum Ornithia. They have 2 eye spots to see. The mouth and anus are in 2 separate holes, which means that they do not have a blind gut. I think that it is amazing that these little water bears can reproduce in so much different ways. We have learned about hermaphroditism, where the organism have both female and male reproductive systems. Remember about most flatworms are examples of hermaphrodites. However, in some species of water bears, they will use their own egg and sperm to create new water bears. Parthenogenesis is a very interesting way to create new life. Usually organisms will undergo sexual reproduction, which allows for more genetic diversity. Even the flatworms that are usually have both types of reproductive systems were internet with other flatworms. Parthenogenesis can be broken down into virgin origin. While this is considered asexual reproduction, it can be better understood as incomplete form of sexual reproduction, since sex cells are made. It's usually a female water bear that will create clones of themselves with these unfertilized eggs.
What they eat and their predators. Nutrition. Most feed on cytoplasmic contents of plant cells. The ones that live in the soil eat algae and detritus. They are also predators of other nematodes. They eat minute soil animals and other tardigrada. The way their digestion works is by using their ectodermal foregut and hindgut connected by ectodermis midgut. Their foregut and hindgut are lined with cuticles, which are molten, and their midgut is not. Their foregut consists of cuticularized buccal tube, pharynx, and an esophagus. Their mouth is a pair of stylets. These are used to eat their prey. The stylet supports are cuticular, extend from stylet to the buccal tube.
As mentioned before, these water bears need a moist environment to be able to breathe. Since they are so small, they just need a tiny amount of water. But what happens when these little guys don't have any water? They start to enter to their turn state. They tuck in their legs to form a ball and then start making terrose. This type of sugar will enter inside the cells and replace the missing water. While they are in this protected state, their metabolism can be less than 0.01% of their normal weight. They can remain like this for decades for the environment to be suitable again. Fun fact, water bears that were in dry moss for over 100 years was successfully able to exit their turn state. Okay guys, here are some possible questions. What is the unique characteristic that belongs to the phylum? Mouthparts that have stylus and a suckling throat. What is the name of the survival mechanism that allows the water bears to survive in extreme conditions? A turn state.